Ladies and gentlemen, this message has found you at a moment when your soul feels worn, when the battles you fought have left your spirit bruised, and when you are wondering if the climb is worth the strain. You may be standing in the middle of a storm that has gone on longer than you expected, and you may feel as though life has asked too much of you. Every person who has risen from ordinary circumstances to extraordinary heights has walked through the valley you now stand in. They too knew the taste of frustration. They too felt the weight of doubt pressing against the door of their hope. Yet what distinguished them was this: the struggle you face is shaping the strength you need. It may not feel like it right now. In fact, it may feel like the very opposite. You may look at your challenges and see only pressure, frustration, exhaustion, and moments that seem designed to break you rather than build you. But there is a truth working quietly in the background of every difficulty you endure. You are being strengthened in ways that are not yet visible, but will become undeniable. When life tests you, it does not do so to prove your weakness. It does so to reveal the power you have not yet claimed. Every challenge asks you one simple question: will you rise to meet what you are capable of becoming? Each time you choose to face what scares you, each time you stand back up after falling, each time you push forward when everything in you wants to quit, you are adding layers to your character that no comfort could ever create. Ease does not develop mastery. Comfort does not build courage. Only struggle builds strength, because only struggle demands that you grow beyond who you were yesterday. Think back to every storm you have already survived in your life. At the time, those moments felt overwhelming. You may have believed you wouldn't get through them. Yet here you stand, carrying the wisdom, resilience, and grit that came from fighting battles you did not choose but still conquered. Those past storms trained you for this moment, just as this moment is preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. The strength you seek does not fall into your hands as a gift. It is carved into you through persistence. The person you want to become is being shaped by every difficult decision you make, every temptation you resist, every fear you confront, and every doubt you silence. Growth is not quiet work. It is not gentle work. It is uncomfortable, demanding, and often painful. But it is also the process through which you discover what you are truly made of. When you are in the middle of struggle, it is easy to misinterpret the pain as punishment. But the truth is that pain is often a signal that you are in the process of becoming more. Muscles do not strengthen unless they are pushed beyond their limits. Diamonds do not form without intense pressure. Human beings do not rise to their potential without challenge. You are not being broken, you are being forged. But even with that knowledge, it is natural to feel tired. It is natural to wish the path were easier, to wish you had fewer burdens to carry, fewer obstacles to climb, fewer moments when you feel like you are barely holding on. If you feel this way, understand that there is nothing wrong with you. Feeling exhausted does not mean you are weak. It means you have been strong for too long without a break. Strength is not about pretending you are unaffected. True strength allows you to acknowledge your fatigue while still choosing not to surrender. Do not mistake the heaviness you feel for a sign that you should give up. Heaviness is a sign that you are carrying something meaningful. Growth weighs more than staying the same. Progress asks more of you than stagnation. But what you gain from this process, discipline, clarity, courage, self-respect, will outlast every moment of hardship. There may be days when you question your worth, your direction, or your ability to keep going. On those days, remind yourself that the struggle is not here to stop you. It is here to prepare you. Life is not trying to take something from you. It is trying to give something to you, something that can only be earned through perseverance. You do not discover your strength in the moments when everything works. You discover it in the moments when everything falls apart, and you find a way to move anyway. Do not run from your struggle. Do not curse it. Do not see it as a punishment. Stand in the center of it and understand that it is shaping you for a future that requires endurance, confidence, and an unshakable belief in your own ability. These qualities are not built in easy times. They are constructed through trial. The version of you that will emerge from this season will look back and realize that every obstacle was a teacher, every setback a stepping stone, and every moment of doubt a doorway to deeper determination. Nothing you are facing is wasted. Nothing you are pushing through will fail to serve you. The strength you need is being built in silence, in struggle, and in the unseen moments where you refuse to quit. So breathe, gather yourself, and keep moving. The struggle you face is shaping the strength you need, and though you may not see it yet, you are rising. Every step you take, no matter how small, proves that you are not done, that you are not defeated, and that something powerful is growing within you. A tired mind can be renewed by a definite purpose. No matter how exhausted you feel, no matter how drained your thoughts seem, purpose has a way of lighting a spark inside you that fatigue cannot extinguish. There is a reason people who know why they are fighting can endure far more than those who don't. Purpose transforms struggle into meaning. It turns obstacles into stepping stones and pain into progress. Purpose is the force that reminds you that what you are doing matters. Even when the journey feels heavy, when your mind is tired, it is not because you are weak. It is often because you have been operating without a clear direction, without a guiding aim that aligns your actions with your deeper desires. A tired mind wanders. A tired mind doubts. A tired mind wrestles with constant noise, indecision, and second-guessing. But a mind fueled by purpose becomes focused. It becomes sharp. It gains a kind of energy that does not come from rest alone, but from meaning. Think of a moment in your life when you cared deeply about something, so deeply that nothing could distract you. You may have been physically tired, yet you found the strength to keep going. You pushed past limits you didn't know you could break. That wasn't coincidence. That was purpose doing what purpose always does, elevating your spirit beyond your circumstances. Purpose is not a luxury. It is a lifeline. Without it, life feels empty, repetitive, and confusing. Everything drains you. Every task feels heavier than it should. Every obstacle feels personal. But when you decide what your life is about, truly about, you awaken a source of power that fatigue cannot touch. You gain a reason to rise in the morning, a reason to endure, and a reason to believe again. A definite purpose renews the mind because it simplifies life. It cuts through the noise. It turns 1,000 scattered thoughts into one clear direction. And clarity is energizing. Clarity removes the pressure of wondering where you belong or what you should do next. It gives you a target worth aiming at, a mission worth committing to, and a future worth moving toward. Most people are not tired because their dreams are too big. They are tired because their goals are undefined. They are tired because they are pulled in directions that do not match their soul. They chase things that do not satisfy them, and the mind grows weary when it must constantly pretend to care about what doesn't matter. But once you discover what truly matters to you, once you define the why behind your efforts, everything starts to align. Fatigue becomes easier to navigate because you understand the purpose behind your effort. Purpose does not require perfection. It does not demand that you know the entire path. It only requires that you choose a direction that resonates with your heart. When you commit to that, energy returns, creativity returns, focus returns. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. A tired mind says, "I can't keep going." A purposeful mind says, "I must keep going." And must is more powerful than can. It reaches deep inside you and activates strength you didn't know you had. Purpose also renews the mind because it gives every challenge a place in your story. When you know your purpose, obstacles lose their power to intimidate you. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "How is this shaping me?" You stop seeing setbacks as signs to quit and start seeing them as tools that refine your character. This shift alone can revive a mind that once felt defeated. Sometimes your tiredness is a signal, not that you should stop, but that you should realign. It is your inner self whispering that you have drifted from what matters. Instead of ignoring that whisper, listen to it. Ask yourself what you truly want. Ask yourself what kind of life would make your effort worthwhile. Ask yourself what values you refuse to compromise. In those answers, you will find the seeds of your purpose. And once you plant those seeds, your mind will begin to wake up. Slowly, steadily, powerfully. Your energy will no longer come from motivation alone, which fades, but from meaning, which endures. A meaningful life does not eliminate difficulty, but it gives you the endurance to rise above it. A definite purpose is not just a mental tool, it is a spiritual anchor. It reconnects you to the deepest parts of your identity. It reminds you that your life is not random, that your journey is not accidental, and that your existence holds weight. When you understand why you are here and what you are striving toward, your mind becomes stronger than your challenges. So if you feel tired, do not assume you are defeated. Do not assume you lack strength. You may simply lack direction. Take a moment to step back, reflect. Remember what ignites your spirit. Reconnect with the dream you abandoned or the vision you buried under fear. Bring it forward again. Give it shape. Give it clarity. Give it commitment. Persistence transforms setbacks into stepping stones. It is one of the simplest truths to understand, yet one of the hardest to embody. Life will place challenges in your path, some expected, some sudden, some so heavy that they shake your confidence to its core. But persistence has a unique ability to turn every difficulty into a source of strength, wisdom, and momentum. When you persist, you stop viewing setbacks as endings and begin seeing them as necessary parts of the journey toward the life you desire. A setback is not a signal that you are unworthy. It is not proof that your dream is too big or too bold. It is simply evidence that you are growing, stretching, and stepping into territory you have not mastered yet. No great achievement comes without resistance. The moment you decide to pursue something meaningful, life begins testing your commitment to that pursuit, not to discourage you, but to develop you. Persistence is the muscle that grows stronger each time you refuse to quit. When you persist through failure, you learn something essential. Failure is not fatal. It is informative. It is revealing. It shows you what must be improved, strengthened, or adjusted. Most people never reach their highest potential because they interpret setbacks as signs that they should stop. They assume difficulty means they are not capable or that the dream was never meant for them. But persistence sees the situation differently. It says, "This setback is here to teach me, not to stop me." Every time you persist, you turn a negative into a positive. The obstacle that once seemed impossible becomes an opportunity for growth. The setback that once discouraged you becomes a story of resilience. Persistence transforms every challenge into a stepping stone that lifts you higher. Think of the people you admire, those who built lives of influence, purpose, or mastery. They all face setbacks. Some faced enormous failures, public defeats, financial ruin, heartbreak, or moments where everything seemed lost. Yet they rose again. They chose to persist, to continue, to keep believing in themselves even when circumstances contradicted their vision. Their success was not born from perfection, but from perseverance. Persistence does something extraordinary. For the human spirit, it builds self-respect. Every time you persist, you send a quiet message to yourself. I can trust me. I finish what I start. I don't abandon myself when things get hard. This trust becomes the foundation of confidence, because confidence is not built from easy victories. It is built from surviving hard moments. Setbacks also humble the mind and strengthen the heart. They teach patience. They teach strategy. They teach resilience. Without setbacks, you might rise too quickly and lose your grounding. With them, you grow roots, deep ones, that hold you steady when storms come. A person who persists gains a power that cannot be taken away. The knowledge that no matter what happens, they can endure. But persistence is not blind stubbornness. It does not mean repeating the same mistake over and over. True persistence is intelligent. It adapts. It learns. It refines its approach without losing sight of its goal. When you hit a wall, persistence encourages you to find a window. When the window closes, persistence tells you to search for a door. And if the door is locked, persistence hands you a set of tools to build your own doorway. Every setback holds something valuable inside it. Experience. Experience prepares you. It molds you. It equips you to handle greater responsibilities, greater opportunities, and greater victories in the future. The person who never struggles often lacks the inner strength to maintain success once they achieve it. Persistence ensures that when success arrives, you have the character to sustain it. The transformation from setback to stepping stone begins with a simple choice, not to quit. You don't need to feel motivated every day. You don't need to feel fearless. You don't need to move at extraordinary speed. Persistence is often slow, quiet, and unglamorous. It is the willingness to take one more step, even if the progress is small. It is the decision to rise every time you fall, even when you are tired of falling. It is the commitment to keep showing up, keep learning, keep trying, and keep believing. There will be times when your persistence feels unnoticed. Times when you question whether your effort matters. Times when you feel like you're pushing against a mountain that refuses to move. But mountains do move, not all at once, but piece by piece, with every push, every step, every moment of persistence. The day will come when you look back and realize that every setback was shaping you in ways you could not yet see, preparing you for breakthroughs you had not yet imagined. Your journey will not unfold in a straight line. It will twist, dip, rise, and surprise you. But with persistence, you will turn every misstep into mastery. You will turn every wound into wisdom. You will turn every delay into development. You will turn every setback into a stepping stone that lifts you closer to the life you are destined to build. Every challenge hides an opportunity, waiting for courage to reveal it. At first glance, challenges appear as obstacles placed in your path to slow you down, frustrate you, or push you off course. They come disguised as setbacks, disappointments, failures, or sudden problems that interrupt your plans. But beneath the surface of every difficulty lies a hidden doorway, a chance to rise, to grow, to evolve into someone stronger and more capable than before. Courage is the key that unlocks that door. Without courage, challenges remain walls. With courage, they become windows. When life presents you with a challenge, your first instinct might be to avoid it, ignore it, or hope it disappears on its own. This is a natural human response. Challenges are uncomfortable. They demand effort, vulnerability, and change. But in resisting them, you miss the very opportunities that could shape your future in powerful ways. The path to becoming your best self rarely comes wrapped in comfort. It comes wrapped in difficulty. Asking one question: will you face this with courage or turn away in fear? Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move despite it. It is the voice inside you saying, yes, this is hard, but I'm capable. Yes, this is uncertain, but I will try. Yes, I'm afraid, but I will not let fear decide the direction of my life. When you take even one courageous step toward your challenges, you begin to see them differently. They stop being threats and start becoming teachers. Every challenge carries a lesson. Some teach patience, some teach discipline, some teach resilience or creativity, some teach you how strong you truly are. But every lesson is an opportunity to deepen your understanding, refine your skills, strengthen your character, or change your direction. Challenges rarely give you what you want in the moment, but they always give you what you need in the long run. When you face a challenge with courage, you open yourself to possibilities you never would have discovered otherwise. New paths appear. Unexpected solutions surface. Resources you didn't know you had come forward. Courage expands your world, fear shrinks it. Many of the greatest breakthroughs in life happen the moment you decide not to run, but to confront the difficulty standing in front of you. Think about a time in your life when you confronted something difficult, something you didn't believe you could handle. At that moment, you may have felt overwhelmed, uncertain, or unprepared. But once you faced it, once you stepped forward, instead of stepping back, you grew. You learned. You unlocked a strength or wisdom you didn't know existed. That is the hidden opportunity challenges carry: transformation. People often look back years later and realize their most difficult moments were actually turning points. Times when they built confidence. Times when they discovered a new direction. Times when they learned a valuable skill. Times when they met the right person or found the right idea. None of this would have happened without the challenge that initially caused them stress or fear. Opportunities rarely present themselves in perfect conditions. They show up disguised as problems, setbacks, or detours. A failed attempt may guide you toward a new strategy. A closed door may force you to find a better one. A moment of loss may push you to appreciate what truly matters. A hardship may reveal inner strength you never knew you had, but none of this is visible unless you choose courage. Courage also clarifies your purpose. It quiets the noise of doubt and redirects your attention to what matters. When a challenge arises, it forces you to ask, why am I doing this? What am I willing to push through for? What is truly important to me? These questions refine your focus and strengthen your direction. Without challenges, life would feel safe but stagnant, easy but empty, predictable but without depth. Challenges inject growth into your life if you have the courage to let them. They push you beyond your limits so you can create new ones. They stretch your capacity so that you can expand your potential. They take you out of who you were and open the way for who you can become. Courage does not need to be loud or heroic. Sometimes it is as simple as trying again after failing. Sometimes it is asking for help. Sometimes it is admitting you don't have all the answers. Sometimes it is taking the first step when you cannot see the entire path. These small acts of bravery reveal the opportunities hidden inside your challenges. A challenge is not there to destroy you. It is there to develop you. It is not a barrier placed in your life to punish you, but a bridge designed to elevate you. And the moment you choose courage over fear, the challenge begins to transform. What once looked like an impossible mountain becomes a climb you are capable of making. What once felt like a heavy burden becomes a lesson in strength. What once appeared as a failure becomes an opening to something greater. Every challenge hides an opportunity waiting for courage to reveal it. When you embrace this truth, you stop fearing difficulties and start seeking the meaning they carry. You begin to trust yourself more. You begin to see life not as something working against you, but something shaping you. And with each challenge you face and overcome, you rise higher, stronger, wiser, and braver than before. Your thoughts are the seeds of your destiny. Guard them with intention. Everything you will accomplish, become, or overcome begins first in the quiet space of your mind. Long before a dream becomes reality, it is planted as an idea. Long before a failure becomes a habit, it begins as a thought accepted without resistance. Your mind is the garden in which your future grows, and the thoughts you allow to take root determine the harvest you will one day reap. Most people underestimate the power of their thoughts. They treat them as fleeting notions that come and go without consequence. But thoughts are not harmless. They are instructions. They tell your attitude how to respond, your emotions how to feel, and your actions what to create. A single empowering thought can lift you, motivate you, focus you, and move you forward. A single negative thought, repeated often enough, can shape your beliefs, crush your spirit, and sabotage your efforts. That is why guarding your mind is not optional. It is essential. Every day, life hands you countless seeds, some of confidence, some of fear, some of hope, some of doubt, some of love, some of resentment. You may not control which seeds appear, but you always control which ones you water. A thought gains power through attention. What you dwell on grows. What you ignore withers. And if you are not intentional, you may unconsciously water the weeds that choke the life out of your potential. Guarding your thoughts begins with awareness. You must pay attention to the internal dialogue shaping your identity. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not enough, I can't handle this," or "nothing will ever change," understand that these thoughts are not facts. They are seeds. If you plant them, they will grow into behaviors and outcomes that reflect them. Negative thoughts cannot produce a positive life. Doubt cannot create courage. Fear cannot build a future worth living. To transform your destiny, you must first transform the seeds you allow into your mental soil. But guarding your thoughts does not mean pretending negativity doesn't exist. It means refusing to let it dominate your mind. It means challenging the lies that limit you and replacing them with truths that elevate you. It means choosing thoughts that align with the person you want to become, not the fears you are trying to escape. Intention is the filter that determines which seeds stay and which are discarded. Your destiny is shaped by your consistent thoughts. If you repeatedly focus on what you lack, you will feel powerless. If you constantly expect failure, you will hesitate when opportunity appears. If you dwell on past mistakes, you will blind yourself to future possibilities. But if you cultivate thoughts of growth, resilience, gratitude, and purpose, your mind becomes fertile ground for success. Thoughts create habits, habits create actions, and actions create results. Destiny is simply the long-term expression of your inner thinking. Intentional thought also builds emotional strength. When you choose empowering thoughts, you begin to feel more confident, more capable, and more grounded. Your emotions follow your focus. A mind filled with fear creates a life lived in hesitation. A mind filled with purpose creates a life lived with direction. The more you guard your thoughts, the more control you gain over your emotional world and eventually over your entire life. Many people allow their minds to become playgrounds for worry. They rehearse problems before they exist, relive past pain long after it has ended, and create imaginary outcomes that paralyze their progress. But once you realize your thoughts shape your reality, you begin to treat them differently. You begin to separate yourself from destructive thinking instead of identifying with it. You begin to say, "This thought is not serving me," and replace it with one that does. Guarding your thoughts requires discipline. It means distancing yourself from environments, conversations, and influences that pollute your mind. It means being selective about what you consume, news, opinions, media, and even the people you surround yourself with. Negative influences are like weeds. They spread quickly, and they multiply if left unattended. Your mind deserves protection because everything that enters it has the potential to shape your path. Guarding your thoughts also means feeding your mind with ideas that inspire growth. Read things that expand your perspective. Listen to voices that encourage your potential. Engage in conversations that challenge you to rise. Reflect on your goals daily. Visualize your best self often. Feed your inner world with the same intention you would give to a seed you want to see flourish. Remember that you cannot always control what thoughts arise, but you can absolutely control which ones remain. You can choose what to meditate on. You can choose what to believe. You can choose what to reinforce. Every thought you allow becomes a brick in the foundation of your destiny. Your future is not shaped by forces outside you, nearly as much as it is shaped by the beliefs within you. If you guard your thoughts with intention, you guard your destiny with strength. The life you want begins with the mind you choose to cultivate today. Every great transformation starts with a shift in thinking. Every breakthrough begins with a decision to plant better seeds.